I want to talk to you about the real you. This is information that I came across some years ago, and I've tried to put it in practice and live it, realize it for myself, and I'm still working on it. But even at the conceptual level, having this information, I think, has just been great. Uh, Let me define ego for you, just for the purpose of this talk. What is ego? Let's say that the ego is a wrong definition of the self. What you think is yourself, but it's not you. So then, if I ask you, who are you? You say, I'm John, or uh, uh, I'm a I'm a man, or I'm an American, or I'm an engineer. All these things are roles you play or labels you have. But if you consider those things to be the real you, then you may experience a lot of fear, because these things can be damaged, can be taken away from you, can be threatened, so you live in fear. Suppose I tell you that you're none of these things. You're not your name, you're not your uh, role, you're not your status in the world, but the real you is just some energy. And let's give that energy a label. And again, it's a label, so we want to be cautious, but let's call it soul. Let's say that the real you is the soul. And the soul is operating in in two or three different capacities. The soul is the life energy in your body, and it's the same energy that rises up in your brain and creates thoughts. So the thoughts, we can also call them, think of them as soul. And it's the same life energy or soul that does the work of choosing between thoughts. So let's say that the real you is the soul energy, the soul. And if you say, my soul, you are making an error, because if you say my soul, then who is the real you and who is the soul? Well, no, the you are the soul. But you notice that you can say my head, my eyes, my arms, my feet. That is proper, because those things are not you. You are just inhabiting them. Or you might say my career, or my gender, or my position. Those are things you have, but you are not it. So now I want to tell you something about the soul. It's just a greatest perspective I've ever seen, I've ever come across. Think of you, the soul, as a white, as a clean white dress or jacket. Let's say male or female, depending. And let's say that this is my white jacket. I know it's not white, but let's say it is white. And let's say that I get a dirt spot here on top of the jacket. Now, even though the dirt spot is covering my clean white jacket underneath, underneath the clean jacket is still there. It has not disappeared, or it has not become corrupt. It's just a spot on top of it. Whenever you can remove that spot, clean it or wash it out, the clean jacket is still underneath it, or the clean dress is still underneath it. So the soul is something of that nature, where in its originality it is pure, clean, beautiful, powerful, and any impurities on top, any spots, any dirt that it might stick to it, is because of some action or some thinking or some speech that was produced that is negative, and it has created that scar, if you will, temporary scar on the soul, but never a permanent scar. And those impurities, that damage, can always be undone through corrective action, through I guess good luck and grace, and maybe a few other options, but it can always be undone. So now think about this. You, the real you, is this pure energy, pure soul energy, right? What are its qualities? It is eternal. It does not take birth or die. Number two, it is pure. eternal, pure, incorruptible, in a permanent sense. Temporarily it can be. Now, from that perspective, think about that. Think, like for example, I might say to myself, I am a pure soul. If I really feel the effects of that thought, now tell me what exists in this entire universe that can threaten me, that can intimidate me? Nothing. Nothing at all. No damage, no accident, no loss, nothing. I mean, those things can happen to my body. That's not me. That's just a temporary possession I have. Those things maybe can happen to my mind. Maybe can happen to my position, my power, my social status. But the real me, the soul, the pure soul energy can never be harmed. And now tell me, is there anything that I would be afraid of or worry about from that thinking standpoint? And so a lot of the suffering, a lot of the problems, a lot of the pain that one might experience, you might experience in life, is because of the wrong conceptual knowledge of who you are. Let me see what else I want to say. So how do you put that into practice in your life, and how do you live it? I can give you maybe a suggestion or two. One is simply remind yourself. Think of, if you can think of this as almost kind of like a meditative practice. You might say to yourself something in the following format: I am blank soul, and put something, anything positive in the blank, in the, fill in the blank, soul. So for example, I am a pure soul. If you just say that to yourself, almost like a meditation practice for a few minutes, maybe longer, that is one way to more and more live it and embody it and really feel it and live your life from that, where you have a life-threatening danger staring you in the face, and you are unafraid. You're unafraid. You're able to come from a position of strength, compassion, wisdom, because you have embodied this concept that you are a blank soul. You are a pure soul. Or you might use some other, your favorite positive words. I'll give you some suggestions. I am a powerful soul, or I am an intelligent soul, or I am a compassionate soul, or I am a generous soul, I am a wise soul, I am a courageous soul. You get the idea. And if this format, if these wordings, I am a blank soul, doesn't really resonate with you, but some twist on it works better for you and gives you that same positive feeling of embodying this, then you're welcome to use it. I hope that helps you. And I'm advertising my coaching services right now. If you would like to get coaching from me, please go to my blog site and get my contact information from there, and call me or email me.